When we think about what it takes to succeed, our minds usually jump to things outside of ourselves, right? We think about market trends, we think about our competition. But what if I told you that the biggest threats to your success aren't out there at all? They're actually internal. Today, we're going to diagnose 7 what I'd call diseases of attitude that can silently and totally sabotage even the most promising careers. So, let's just cut right to it. I want you to really think about this for a second. What is the real enemy of your success? What's that one thing, that single barrier, that's truly holding you back from hitting your full potential? Chances are it's not what you think. It's not the market. It's not your competition. The real barrier, well, it's a silent killer inside of you. It's this whole set of attitude diseases that quietly eat away at your potential and just bring your progress to a grinding halt. All right, so we're going to break these down into 3 main groups. First up, let's dive into what we're calling the ailments of inaction. These are the forces that literally paralyze your progress before you can even get started. Okay, disease number 1 is indifference. This one's tricky because it's so subtle. It's just a lack of real concern. It's that tendency to just kind of drift through life. You know the feeling? We tell ourselves, oh, I'd work harder if I just had a better plan or if I was in a different job. But really, indifference just means that internal fire, that drive, it's just not lit. And that really gets to the heart of the problem, doesn't it? I love this saying, you cannot drift to the top of the mountain. It's so true. Getting to the top of anything requires focused, deliberate effort. You can't just hope your way up there. All right, next up, we've got disease number 2. Indecision. And believe me, they call this one mental paralysis for a reason. It's that awful feeling of being stuck on the fence, just completely terrified of making the wrong move. So what happens? You make no move at all. You're just frozen. So what's the cure? It sounds almost too simple, but here it is. Just make a decision. Seriously, any decision. Hesitating gets you nowhere. Look, even if you make the wrong move, you gain valuable experience. That experience makes your next choice that much better. Action is always better than inaction here. And that leads us right into our 3rd ailment of inaction, overcaution. This is that timid approach to life, right? Your whole mindset is run by this constant nagging fear of risk. You're always asking, but what if? And every time you do that, you're letting fear make your world just a little bit smaller. Here's the thing. Life is risky. There's no getting around it. Trying to avoid all risk is, well, it's impossible. And this quote just hits it home perfectly. It is better to live 30 years full of adventure than a century merely existing safe in a corner. You have to choose adventure over the illusion of safety. Okay, let's shift gears and move to our 2nd group of diseases. This is where things get really interesting. We're talking about the plagues of the mind. This is all about how your thoughts, your internal monologue, are literally creating the world you live in. So, disease number 4 is doubt. And while you can doubt a lot of things, let's be honest, the most damaging kind of doubt is self-doubt. It is an absolute plague that just eats away at your belief in what you can do. The only cure? You have to become your own biggest believer. It's the non-negotiable starting point for any real progress. And that brings us to number 5, worry. We need to be clear here. This is way more than just a bad mood. Worry is a truly devastating habit. It wrecks your health, it damages your relationships, it kills your focus. The cure is blunt, I'll admit, but it's crucial. You have to give it up. A successful life is going to have challenges for sure, but it absolutely cannot be paralyzed by worry. All right, number 6 is pessimism. This one is a killer. It's the habit of focusing only on the problems, the faults, all the reasons why something is impossible. You know the type. A pessimist can look at the most beautiful sunset in the world, and all they'll see are the specks of dirt on the window. It's nothing more than a bad habit of poor thinking. So how do we fight back against a habit like that? Well, it starts with this really powerful idea. The human mind is like a mental factory. Think about that. The quality of what your factory produces, your career, your life, your relationships, it all comes down to the quality of the ingredients you put into it. So, what does that mean for you? It means you have to become the manager of your own mental factory. Step 1, stand guard at the door. Don't let negative thoughts even get inside. Step 2, you have to control the ingredients. Actively feed your mind with positivity, with stories of success, with inspiration.
If you do that, your factory has no choice but to produce a dynamic, successful life. It's a simple process, but it's powerful. Okay, we're at our final section now. In this one covers what might be the single most corrosive habit of them all. This is without a doubt the fastest way to self-destruct. And that disease is complaining. Now, I'm not talking about constructive venting. I mean whining, griping, just constant murmuring. The description for this is intense. Economic cancer of the bone. Why? Because it is just so uniquely destructive. Every single second you spend complaining is a second you'll never get back, and it will absolutely drag you into a desert of your own making, filled with regret. So, okay, we've identified all these diseases. Now what? Where do we go from here? Well, that brings us to the most important part, winning your inner war. This is about creating your personal battle plan. So let's just do a quick recap. The 7 deadly diseases of attitude are indifference, indecision, overcaution, doubt, worry, pessimism, and the big one, complaining. And that brings us to the main point of all this, the big takeaway. The real war for success, it isn't fought out there in the marketplace. It is fought and it is won right here, inside of you. Your external world is nothing more than a mirror reflecting your internal state. So that leaves us with one final and really one crucial question. Look, what we've done here is more than just share information. It's a diagnosis. And now that you have the diagnosis, the only question left that really matters is this. Which one of these diseases are you going to cure first?